Hi guys, it's Dan here, and today we're just going to be doing a very quick link audit for the website wj.uk, more specifically looking at their car park markings page here. So this is a service that this company offers within the United Kingdom. As you can see, they work in these areas up here, and it's obviously a phrase they're looking to rank for as they're using it, in their titles, and this URL particularly is about car park marking, so it's definitely something that this company is looking to, to profit from essentially. So we're going to have a look in Ahrefs here, which is basically a tool that kind of shows the Google rankings of certain key phrases. So when it ended in car park markings here, you can see that it gets a current search volume of 150 people per month. That's 150 different people just in the United Kingdom alone that are searching for car park markings. So obviously it's a good key phrase to rank for, especially if you're looking to provide that service across the United Kingdom. So now if I scroll down, what basically will be shown here is the top 10 companies that are ranking in Google right now as we speak. So this is essentially a mock-up of the top 10 companies, how they rank in order for that Google phrase car park markings. So the first thing I wanted to point out really is obviously wj.uk is ranking here in number 8, which isn't terrible, but there's certain things that we feel would definitely help improve its current Google rankings. First thing I want to highlight is this little backlink section here. If I just hover over the eye, it obviously shows how many backlinks are pointing to a given URL. So in this case, wj.uk has only got one backlink from one referring domain going to that URL. If you look across the board for other sites, obviously it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Up here you've got kind of one again, 3. So you'd maybe assume that 1 might be enough to rank, for this key phrase. But I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and explain why that maybe isn't the case. So if we actually click through to this one backlink that's going through to wj.uk, we'll see that obviously it doesn't bear any relevancy at all. I mean, the key phrase is foreign text throughout the site. It's not really relevant to car park markings at all, or that industry at all. So there really isn't much relevancy going on with the one link that they do have. Whereas some of the other sites that are ranking in Google have got much more kind of relevant links going to them, even if it's a lot less. And then if you look at some of the other sites here, you can see that above ranking you, it's quite daunting really, because they have 144 and 148 backlinks. But don't really let that fool you, because their DR here, which is their domain rank, is quite low. So they've got a domain rank of 12 and a domain rank of 0. So that domain itself really doesn't, these domains themselves in number 6 and number 7 really don't carry that much authority or power to them. Whereas the current one for wj.uk does carry quite a lot of power. In fact, it carries the second most power out of all of the sites there. So that's very promising. And that would suggest that what you really need to be doing is building more power to this inner page itself. Because as you can see, the inner page itself only has got one backlink. So the first thing I'd suggest to do would be to simply just build more backlinks to this URL. Because you've got some up here, this site has a lot less DR than wj.uk, has even a lower UR currently, but it's got 3 backlinks to it, and that's going to be carrying a lot more power to that inner page than what the one backlink that isn't very relevant is going to wj.uk. So we feel like that's a really good place to start really. It's just to start building more backlinks to wj.uk car park markings URL itself. The second thing we'd recommend is, as I mentioned earlier, just relevancy. I mean, if I have a look at this backlink again, you can see there's no relevancy to the key phrase. Whereas if you had links, going from maybe a council blog or a residential areas blog, or maybe something from the automotive, industry, something along those lines that's much more relevant to car park markings than something that's, from a Russian site maybe, or something that just bears little to no relevance at all. So we'd recommend really that the key thing to be doing with this one would just be to be building a few more backlinks to it, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 maybe even backlinks to that actual URL of car park markings, and ensuring that those backlinks that you're building are super relevant. So ones that are, like I said, are maybe about a residential area or something to do with vehicles, something along those lines that's much more kind of niche specific, if you will, rather than what we have currently. So that's kind of it, guys. That's what I'd recommend for this site to kind of push that key phrase up to where you'd want it to be. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.